Single dad found a paralyzed poor girl at the bus stop, then took her home. Heartfelt moments. Intro, hook. It was a freezing Tuesday evening in November. The kind of cold that cuts right through your jacket and makes your fingers go numb before you even reach your car. Most people were rushing, heads down, hands buried in their pockets, desperate to get home and get warm. Nobody was stopping. Nobody was looking up. And that's exactly why nobody noticed the young girl sitting completely alone at the bus stop on the corner of Maple and 5th. She hadn't moved in over an hour. Subscribe call out. Before we go any further, if stories like this one move your heart, you're in the right place. Welcome to Heartfelt Moments, the channel where real human kindness takes center stage. Please take a second to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment below telling us about a time someone showed up for you when you least expected it. Your story might just inspire someone else. Now, let's get back to the corner of Maple and 5th. Main story begins. Marcus Webb was 34 years old, a single father of one 7-year-old boy named Caleb. Every evening after picking Caleb up from after-school care, Marcus took the same route home, down 5th Avenue, past the grocery store, past the old barber shop, and past the bus stop on the corner. He'd driven that route 500 times without a second thought. But that Tuesday, something made him slow down. Caleb spotted her first. "Daddy, why is that girl just sitting there? She's not on her phone or anything." Marcus glanced over. There was a young woman, she looked to be maybe 19 or 20, sitting in a wheelchair beside the bus stop bench. She wasn't bundled up like she should have been. Her thin jacket was doing almost nothing against the cold. There was a small bag on her lap and her head was bowed, like she was trying to make herself invisible. Marcus drove another half a block. Then he stopped the car. He sat there for a moment, his hands still on the wheel, having the internal argument that most of us have: someone else will help her. Maybe she's waiting for someone. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. But then Caleb said, quietly from the backseat, "Daddy, she looks cold and sad." That was enough. Marcus pulled over, put on the hazards, and walked back to the bus stop. Up close, he could see her more clearly. Her name, he would soon learn, was Destiny. She was 21 years old and had been paralyzed from the waist down after a car accident 2 years earlier. She had no family nearby, her mother had passed, and her father had never been in the picture. She lived in a small assisted living facility about 4 miles away, but her regular transport had failed to show, and she had been sitting at that bus stop for nearly 90 minutes with a dead phone and no way to call for help. She had been too proud to cry, too exhausted to try flagging anyone down after the first dozen people walked by without even glancing her way. When Marcus crouched down to her level and said, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need some help?" Destiny looked up at him like she couldn't quite believe he was real. "I'm fine," she said automatically. The way people do when they've learned that saying "I need help" out loud is scarier than suffering in silence. Marcus didn't push. He just said, "My son and I are headed home. It's about 15 degrees out here and getting colder. We've got heat, we've got leftover chili on the stove, and we've got a ramp on the porch. My grandfather was in a wheelchair too." He smiled gently. "Come with me." Those 3 words broke something open in her. Destiny later said she almost said no out of habit. But something in the steadiness of his voice, the way he wasn't pitying her, wasn't performing kindness for an audience, wasn't in a hurry, made her trust him. She nodded. Caleb helped Marcus load her wheelchair into the back of the car, chattering the whole time about his favorite cartoon and whether or not Destiny liked dinosaurs. By the time they pulled onto the highway, she was smiling despite herself. At Marcus's house, they ate chili at the kitchen table. Destiny used Marcus's phone to call the facility and let them know she was safe. Caleb drew her a picture of a T-Rex that he insisted she keep. They talked for 2 hours, about her accident, about her dream of becoming a social worker one day, about Marcus losing his wife 3 years ago and learning how to raise Caleb on his own. 2 strangers who had been quietly carrying enormous weight, suddenly feeling a little lighter just by being in the same room. Marcus drove her home that night and made sure she got inside safely. Before she wheeled through the door, Destiny turned and said, Most people just walked by. Marcus shook his head. Most people were probably good people having a hard day. You just needed one of them to look up. She thought about that for a long time afterward. Closing. What Marcus did wasn't complicated. He didn't have extra money to give her special training or unlimited time. He had a warm car, a bowl of chili, and the willingness to stop when every instinct told him to keep driving. That's it. That's the whole miracle. Kindness doesn't always look like a grand gesture. Sometimes it looks like 3 quiet words on a freezing November evening. Come with me, offered to someone the rest of the world had decided not to see. You never know who is sitting at the bus stop of their life, waiting for just one person to look up. Today, let that person be you. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist. And don't forget to subscribe to Heartfelt Moments, because kindness is always worth sharing.